Carry the one. I'm gonna go over on that one, Jim.
Okay. Ooh, see this could be a separation Saturday on the over unders, JP.
Separation Saturday.
Welcome to My God a Podcast. I'm Jim Wood. In this episode, John Powell and I preview Georgia's homecoming matchup with the Kentucky Wildcats. We talk through what we're looking for in the game, and we answer questions from you, our listeners. As always, remember to check out the newly redesigned MyGottaPodcast.com to see our latest merch. And you can follow us on social media at MyGottaPodcast. Finally, if you need help with your website or your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs. Now, let's join the conversation in progress. All right, back for another homecoming preview against Kentucky.
Yep, we're back with the bourbon lovers from Kentucky.
Mm, true. Very true. Yeah, I will say I rather enjoyed our bourbon stops in Kentucky on the way to the Natty a few years ago when my dad and I drove to Indianapolis and stopped by Buffalo Trace to and fro while driving through Kentucky. So yeah, man, you can get whatever you want there. You have to pay for it. That's what I was told at least. We just got what they had at the distillery.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you don't you'd have to go through Kentucky to get there. But and that's where we're having the game at home. Kind of this matchup is annoying when it's at home. I feel it's like one of the few away games I feel like people like would really enjoy going to.
You know, honestly, too, like the other thing on that is I think that's why a lot of people wanted Kentucky to be one of the permanent opponents in the new, three-team thing, rotating thing. Say like Kentucky and as opposed to say South Carolina, um, which I would have been cool with too. I know, I guess it kind of depends on time of year. Back like this game used to be played like right before the Florida game, and I think a lot of people would go up and go to Keeneland and watch the horses run. But at any rate, all the things are changing.
Everything is changing. And so I guess we're gonna play these guys a lot less. But
Yeah,
we can still drink their liquids.
yeah. I guess it'll be like every other year. I think is how we'll play them going forward with the new format. So
Sure.
yeah, it is actually. You know
We'll
what? I know that's
we'll
right.
just make it up again tomorrow next year.
It'll be alternating every other year, and then it'll be like home and away, but with a year in between. So if they're here one
Hmm.
year, we go to them 2 years after. That's how the new schedule is going to work. So
Okay.
at any rate,
That
um,
just makes those trips to Buffalo Trace a little bit more special.
that's right. That's right. I like it. I like that. Um, Also, I have something for you, John. Since I'm gonna do this at the beginning, do a quick entertainments. We just saw Logan, last weekend, so
Yeah.
I've got something. And also,
Okay.
this is around like similar time of year of when some of this stuff happened last year. So if you'll recall, last year when we hosted Mississippi State at halftime, we were told to like cheer because they were filming a TV show, and the TV show came
That's
out.
right.
So that Chad
That's
Powers
right.
is not all out, but the first two episodes are out. So Lily and I watched the first two episodes tonight before recording.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, and it's about what you would expect, but like, it actually is really funny. I'm not saying it's like great television or anything, but it is pretty funny. Um, and like Georgia is featured prominently in it. You can tell. Like literally, the opening scene is like him in the Rose Bowl playing for Oregon against Georgia, and it's like hilarious, just because you've seen Georgia out there. It's pretty funny. So and like Lily was like like screaming at the TV and stuff.
Are
Um,
that are they wearing black jerseys, Jim? That
no,
would be
they're in
like
the
an
red. They're in the
that would
red.
be an
Also, ooh, okay. So here's something else for you. Their numbers are Bulldog bold in the game. In the
nice.
which makes sense because it's supposed to be like 8 years ago.
Eight
So
years ago. There you
yeah,
go.
so it actually makes sense. It's pretty funny. I will say though, like I'm watching with Lily. She's 16. Like the language, there's definitely like a lot of sorry Carter, like a lot. So I don't know if you
Okay.
want. So just be like, don't watch it with Camden, like kind of thing. Like
It's on FX, right?
it's on Hulu. So it's on
Oh,
Hulu, and it's like, and it said it was like TVMA, and I was like,
oh
it
wow.
can't be that bad. And then like I was like, oh, language.
Jim,
So just no,
TVMA
just
is
no. Well, I looked it up. I went to the IMDb parental thing, and it said it was because of language, which
okay.
I would
I'll give
generally agree.
you there's another crap, I'm totally blanking on now off the rails. Um what is it called? Common Sense Media.
Common
That's what
sense
you need to
media.
look. That's what you don't use the IMDb like
Oh, I got you.
ratings.
Okay, sorry.
Go to Common Sense Media, and then they break down like they have the ratings breakdowns that are like what kids say, what parents say, and like they have the overall recommendation
I
about
gotcha.
what's appropriate, and it has like a green check mark if it's like a good you might check it out. It's a I don't want to say it's a Christian based ratings website, but like a lot of Christian people use that in our circles use Common Sense Media to like suss out whether or not they should let their 8-year-old watch
Okay,
the
so
the show or whatever.
I just checked. It says check mark for 15 plus.
15
So
plus.
yeah. So
Oh
Lily
wow.
Lily is 16. So like I said, like I was okay with her, and again, like
That's crazy.
yeah. So it's not for kids. It's not for little. It's not for young kids. Like 100%. So just beware of that.
Be prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if it got the green check mark for that, does it say anything about the language on that?
Yeah. Like it says like that's why.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, 15. I remember back in the day when it was like an F word would get the R rating and you couldn't see that until you were 17 years old.
Right. And that is it is littered with that. So like I said, sorry Carter.
Wow. Okay.
Left and right. So yeah.
Off
So
the
just
off
beware.
the rails.
Off the rails. Okay. Well, there's a game.
There is a game. I mean, we're still dissecting film from the Alabama game
Oh my
as of
gosh, I
yes,
know.
as
I
of
know.
today. Like I feel like I get sicker and sicker the more Coach Hayes like puts up his analyses because there are things that I completely forgot, or maybe I just blocked them out and had like a blackout after Taylor's touchdown that I completely missed. That there was a freaking wide receiver screen that we had set up that I was just like, oh my gosh. When I saw that, I feel like a piece of me broke.
I felt kind of proud of myself that I did remember when that happened.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, that was you
that's
totally called it. You totally
pretty good.
called it.
That's pretty good. It's like, if
I
I'm not
sent that to the
mistaken.
chat.
By the way, I did not Google that. I did not Google like or like look it up. That was
I
from
mean, I
me.
just asked Coach Hayes. He's like, yes.
Yes, confirmed. Can't confirm this next play. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we can dive into some of those things. I think we've got
As
some
it
kind of some like schematic type listener questions as well. We could probably use some of that there, and then when we're looking at the things we're looking for, I think there's definitely things to clean up from last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that it's one of those things where the coaches are probably doing the same things, and maybe that's why Kirby Smart was excited because he can see that
Mm,
it's out there, and we just got to clean them up for this is what they refer to as a get right game.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I don't think that I saw any. I mean, do we need to get into the news and notes?
yeah. We can run through. We can run through. Let's do our normal rundown.
All
So
right.
you can always follow us on social media at My God a Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and the TikTok. Although we need to post more on there. That's my bad. Um, Be sure to head over to homefield.mygodapodcast.com. You can check out everything that Homefield Apparel has to offer. You can get 15% off your first order there if you use our promo code HunkerDown. So always be sure to go check that out. They got great stuff. All right. So for the matchup on Saturday, kickoff is at noon on Saturday um, at Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium. The Dogs come into this game 3-1, 1-1 in the league. Kentucky is 2-2, 0-2 in the SEC. The Dogs are ranked, I think, 10 in the coaches poll, 12th in the AP, if I'm getting that right. Kentucky is not ranked. The broadcast, this game is on ABC. The broadcasters are Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, and Katie George. So Jesse Palmer, both Florida quarterback and Bachelorette contestant, as I recall, or The Bachelor. I don't know, both maybe. He was The Bachelor. Something I noticed that I don't ever say. This game will be on Sirius XM station 84 if you have Sirius XM, and
Wait,
then
what?
it's on Sirius XM 84. The game is on
Okay.
that channel. If you like to do those things,
Is it not normally on
I don't
that?
know. I just noticed that this week, so I'm saying it.
Okay.
And then on the official hashtag is hashtag UK versus UGA. Let's
And
see.
we will forget to use it.
We will 100% forget to use that. Actually, I have an extra comment about that. The all time series record is Georgia 64, 12, and 2. So, a bit lopsided series with these guys. And then the last meeting last year, the Dogs won 13-12 in Lexington. That was a wild one up there in Lexington last year. Weather on Saturday looks like it's going to be great. Looks like partly cloudy. Looks like it should be like in the 70s, so like high of 76. So we're starting to transition towards that fall weather, JP.
It
Should
is
be,
starting to feel like fall outside. I'll definitely tell you that.
yeah. Remember 2 years ago, the Kentucky game was when we had to go buy blankets at halftime. But that was a night. That was a night game when the swirling winds got us. Uh, I'll say my official hashtag joke was going to be my phone was really struggling in the stadium, uh, like last week for the Alabama game. So I think they were like, there was something that I like usually tweet and like tweeted, like when we scored the first touchdown, I always use like the Munson gif, and it just like sat there and was like hanging. And like I went back into Twitter later and it was just still sitting there, had never posted. So sorry about that. We had technical difficulties in the stadium. All right, that's what I got for the matchup, JP. Where you want to go next?
I don't know. I don't have, I mean, we've done these guys so many ways, but I think that I was going to touch on the fun facts on the history things, a history topic of Lexington, Kentucky, if I
Okay,
can.
go for it.
Okay, so I was curious about this, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole of there's actually underground streams that are throughout the city of Lexington, and actually were very important components to the original founding of Lexington, Kentucky. The the river or stream is called Town Branch. And I was curious if that is where the term branch water came from. It is not. However, it's still kind of cool that the freaking one of the birthplaces of whiskey or bourbon in the United States was has a literal stream that goes through it called Town Branch.
Hmm.
Um, and that river that kind of goes throughout and meanders is where everything started for Kentucky. And it actually wasn't Kentucky when Lexington was first founded. When Lexington was first founded, it was actually still part of the state of Virginia.
Hmm.
Kentucky did not become a state until after the founding of Lexington. So I thought that that was kind of interesting. So basically, we're still playing some Yankees, if you really want to get down into it. Although I think Virginia is still considered part of the South, but I don't.
They're the ACC.
Uh,
They're the
yeah,
ACC
seriously,
schools.
they're the ACC. Like Virginia is so far north, it's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, so there's a river that basically started everything. So like there would be leather tanneries, slaughterhouses, mills, brick and lumber yards, distilleries, and factories all along the banks of the Town Branch in Lexington, and actually like was a large cholera epidemic hit Lexington in 1833 because that was also where they would empty their bathrooms into the Town Branch and killed about 500 people.
Hmm.
And then they had another outbreak a little while, like several years later, and killed another 345 people. So the cleanliness of our founding fathers throughout the years were not super great. Not great, Bob. Um, but then they had a piping system that was dammed 1885, and that's where, they didn't really have much of a problem after that. Um, but yeah, they have these underwater, like under Lexington, there's a an underwater or underground water source that was the source of the founding of Lexington.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of what I thought was that's one of the things that I was most interested in was when I found out about that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
There's
well,
a, I don't know that there's like a creek or something that runs under Sanford Stadium, by the way, too.
yeah, but this is like this thing was instrumental in founding
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
city
Yeah.
of Lexington. I don't
Yeah.
know. I haven't really heard too much about that one, but I
No,
don't know
the
if it
one,
was a huge component of the founding
no,
of Athens.
no, it was not. It's just interesting that it's under the stadium. And like, generally don't know about that.
Got
Cool,
it.
man.
It's
Um,
actually like been gotten they've gotten headlines over the years. Like the EPA got onto them for the pollution of the town branch and other streams
hmm.
because of again, I guess they still to this day they were still emptying their bathrooms because the sewers and everything still led to town branches like the Finding Nemo, like all drains lead to the ocean kind of thing.
Right. Right.
But they had to upgrade their sewers and storm systems because they got sued by the EPA for polluting the town branch. So they were literally polluting their water.
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Uh, let's see. You want to hit Hasty's Harvard history?
Let's hit it, Jim. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take it away for this week, if you don't mind. All right, so Jason writes to us this week. This Saturday is homecoming, which I was not aware of until I saw Hasey's Harvard history notes, and also saw the wallpaper Wednesday. Which, dude, how about the university being on track with that?
Dude, Fire, Passion, Energy confirmed on the Wallpaper Wednesday.
At least on the wallpaper team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Defense, not so much. All right. This Saturday is homecoming, and the week will be filled with celebrations around campus. In coming home to the university, fans and alumni will be reminded of campus traditions that date back generations. Some campus traditions can be silly, some solemn, and some change throughout the years while retaining the essence of what made them part of the campus experience to begin with. One tradition, in fact, the oldest extant tradition at UGA, is so ingrained in the experience of generations of Georgia fans and alumni that it's difficult to imagine the university campus and downtown Athens without it. That tradition is the ringing of the chapel bell. Shout out Chapel Bell Curve. The current university chapel was constructed in 1832 and replaced an earlier wooden chapel that had burned down. When constructed, it could easily hold the entire population of the university, but both faculty and students. The chapel bell that we see today has changed very little since 1832. The only substantial difference is that the bell was originally housed in a larger tower on the roof of the building. In 1913, the tower had become structurally unsound, so it was demolished and the bell was moved to its current location. That's interesting. Georgia's football program began, as most fans know, in January 1892 on what became known as Hurdy Field, which is directly behind the chapel. In the early days of the team, fans would sit or stand behind the walls of the chapel in New College. A large tree between the two buildings provided shade on sunny afternoons. The tradition of ringing the chapel bell began after a game against Auburn. It's appropriate that our oldest tradition is tied to our oldest foe, the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Going into the 1894 season, Georgia was completely winless against Auburn. Brutal. Granted, there had only been one game played, but even so, Georgia's fans and students were irate at having a losing record against Auburn. Same. The 1894 game was played at Piedmont Park in Atlanta, which had been the site of the first matchup in 1892. The game was tied at a score of 8-8, with darkness settling onto the field when Georgia's Rufus Nally recovered an Auburn fumble for a safety, and Georgia won the game 10-8. The result was telegraphed to Athens, and it set off a party on campus. The earliest reference to the chapel bell being rung and the earliest reference to the chapel bell being rung in celebration of a victory is found in the red and black edition of December 1st, 1894. And I believe, is this an excerpt from the article, Jim?
Yes.
And I believe that we have some documents that are showcasing this. Is that right? On the YouTubes,
Yeah,
if you're on the
I've got the red and black up on the screen.
I can neither confirm nor deny, dear listener, that this is an actual red and black from Jim's attic. Okay,
uh,
here we go. So here's the article from December 1st, 1894. The varsity special left at 7 o'clock, and the people of Athens awaited the arrival of the party at the Athens depot with a brass band and plenty of enthusiasm. Merchants opened their stores and told the boys to help themselves to boxes. Soon a large bonfire lighted up the campus, and the college rang out on the night air, and the college yell was heard on every hand. The night had far spent itself when the last echo of the bell was heard, and the dying embers of the great bonfire was all that was left to remind the passerby that the great day was over. Georgia had triumphed. 3 years had she waited, and now the defeat that had once befallen her by the hands of the Alabamians was blotted out. Love it. We should do
this
bonfire. Can we do bonfires after games? Like instead of rolling Toomer's Corner and all that kind of stuff, we just have a giant bonfire.
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. Josh Brooks does not approve.
Yeah.
All right. It should be noted that the enrollment of the university in 1894 was only 212, so this party must have involved almost all the students at the university. The Americas Times recorder added a few more details on December 2nd. The chapel bell was ringing and the campus was ablaze. Amazing. A sick lady in the vicinity sent them round a request to cease their jollity. They did so out of consideration for her. The bell was hushed, the fires put out, and the boys went home.
Hmm.
Despite the early end to the party, the tradition took hold quickly, and it soon became the job of freshmen to ring the bell throughout the night to celebrate a Georgia victory. When the bell was moved to its current location behind the chapel, it became easier for students to ring after passing a difficult class, graduating, or to celebrate any significant occasion. Now it is common for visitors to campus to ring the bell, and orientation groups are given the chance to ring the bell during tours around campus. Though the bell rarely rings all night anymore, few Georgia fans will forget the scene on the night of January 10th, 2022, when a crowd of hundreds descended on the chapel to celebrate our vanquishing of the Crimson Tide in our first national championship since 1980. Those fans that night were, whether they realized it or not, adding to the latest chapter to a tradition that has been part of campus life since 1894. Wow,
That's pretty cool. And now
that
you
is
know
pretty
where
cool.
and now you know where that came from.
And now you know where it came from. Dear listener, suck it, Auburn. I feel like this is where we need to drop the sound. There it is.
I'm getting faster. I'm getting faster. Oh man.
Awesome. And
Um,
if you are listening, there's several other nice items that Jason sent us to view. If you were a viewer on YouTube, check it out.
yeah, for sure. For sure. And just a reminder, you can always head over to the Hargett Library on Fridays if you're in town. So at 3 o'clock, Jason gives a free guided tour of the latest exhibit, which this year's exhibit is, or this fall's exhibit is called Sustained Excellence: A History of UGA Swimming and Diving. It's led by the tour be led by Jason Hasty, and legendary coach Jack Barley helped Jason curate uh, this exhibit. So be sure to go check that out if you're in town.
Yes.
All right, let's hit the news and notes. So nothing like major out of Kirby's press conferences, honestly. Actually, I haven't even seen anything from his Tuesday press conference. I didn't see a recap posted of that, but on Monday, like nothing major. Everyone was still asking questions about Alabama. So like shocking. Um, so what I was gonna do was talk about the injury report a little bit. Um, so nothing like shocking on the Georgia side. Um, I think the only like main notable thing is like Ernest Green is listed as out still. Um,
Hmm.
on on the Kentucky side though, there was something there. So their quarterback who started the season, Zach Calzada,
Yeah, why does
he
that name sound familiar?
he was at Texas A. He used to play at Texas A&M. He's a
That's what
transfer.
it is.
Yep. And so he was their starter to begin the season, got injured in the Ole Miss game, I believe. So they've been playing a freshman since then. Um, and it sounds like the freshman is still slotted to start, is my understanding. But I guess like Calzada could come in and play if needed. So definitely something to watch for. Sounds like Cutter Boley will still get the start, but
So
Calzada is probable to be available.
we're gonna keep eyes on the backup quarterback for Kentucky now.
I know, right? Yeah, what is going on? What is going on? Okay, that was all I got from the news and notes. Didn't see anything of note from Stoops press conference either. So,
Okay.
um, okay, so we
Nothing
can,
earth-shattering.
yeah, no, nothing earth shattering. Like I said, it was all about Alabama with Kirby on Monday. So shocking.
Poor
Um,
guy. Poor guy.
yeah, I know. I know we talked about we actually talked about this in the Bama review, but for those who didn't listen, the net yards per play for Georgia not looking great. We're at 0.87 net yards per play on the season. Thankfully, Kentucky is even worse. They're at negative 0.45 yards per play net on the season, which is wild.
How's that possible?
I will say we are both equally not great, Bob, in the turnover margin. We have both given away the ball two more times than we have turned it over. So that is a wash between the two teams. Um, so we can talk about the Georgia offense versus the Kentucky defense, kind of what we're looking for when Georgia has the ball. I'll hit some notable kind of defenders for Kentucky really quick. So Alex Safari is a senior inside linebacker. He's the leading tackler on the team with 31 total tackles and one sack. Ty Bryant Jr. is a defensive back. He's a leader for interceptions with two. I will say both of those interceptions came at South Carolina last week. Um, and then McQueese Humphrey Grace is a junior defensive lineman, leads the team with two sacks. So just some players to watch out for. But JP, what are you looking for when the Georgia for this Georgia offense matching up against the Kentucky defense?
Jim, it's going to come down to one thing for me, the offensive line.
Yeah.
Like I need we have entered the era or the time of the season for me, moving forward, it's show me that we can get consistent blocking schemes, that when the plays are called, that we're blocking the right guys. That cost us dearly against Alabama. It's cost us opportunities in other games. I need the offensive line to come out and boss someone for once.
Yeah. Yeah. You
I
want them
mean,
you're calling for the
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Do you want it? Do you want it? Show me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Yeah. I want to see can we clean up the things we struggled with last week? I mean, can we block based on how the play was called? And I want to see I want to see us get the ball in the hands of some folks that had the drops last week. Um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
honestly, I would like to see can we have this be a get right game for Nate Frazier as well in the backfield. But I also man like I want to feed Chauncey Bowens early and often, and continue to get him going and keep his confidence up because he was a man last week.
I will be interested to see who the he trots out there as running back one for the first play of the game. So that will definitely give us a little bit of an indication on where things
Mm-hmm.
are going. I do agree with you on the Taylor thing. Like, let's get the ball back to him, um, get him some confidence. And yeah, the we saw some drops from the tight ends from the tight end department. Would definitely like to see the tight ends get some action in this game for sure. Um, yeah, that's I'd say that about sums it up. I mean, um, the drops were definitely frustrating last week. So I would love to see us have a. I'd love to see Gunner have a virtually perfect game. I don't think that it's realistic to consider, have him pitch a hundred.
Mm.
But I'd like to see him in the 70 plus percentage completion. That's usually Bobo's target is like that 72% completion percentage is like what he's had past quarterbacks targeting.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just kind of looking at the numbers, it looks like they're a little bit softer in the pass. I mean, they're in the bottom like half of defense regardless, but like
Hmm.
73rd ranked in yards rushing per game, and but 106th in passing yards allowed per game, 102nd in overall defense. So I think the opportunity is there for a get right game. And I watched. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say I've watched a ton of Kentucky. I had the Ole Miss game on when they were playing them, um, and then I watched like the key plays, YouTube TV highlights of the Ole Miss game and then the South Carolina game, and I mean they got pretty gashed by South Carolina. So the I think the opportunities will be there. Just got to execute.
Execution. Yep.
All right. Let's see. So let's talk about when Kentucky has the ball. So their our offense, or sorry, their offense, our defense. So again, kind of some notable players. I mentioned Zach Calzada. The transfer has been injured. So Cutter Boley is a freshman. He's been playing ever since then. He is 23 of 43 for 402 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Their leading rusher is Seth McGowan, senior running back, 387 yards and 7 touchdowns and 68 carries. He from what I have seen of him, he does look pretty good. Dante Dowdle will also see run the ball, 49 carries, 238 yards and a touchdown. Their leading receiver is actually a tight end, Willie Rodriguez, 7 catches, 134 yards and a touchdown. And then Jamori Macklin is a senior wide receiver, 6 catches, 113 yards. All right, JP, what are you looking on that? What are you looking at for out of the Georgia defense?
The defense has got to get pressure. This is moving forward. Everything is show me the trenches. Show me the trenches. Show me that you can get a push. Show me that you can get a sack. Show me that you can make the quarterback like uncomfortable and get him out of kicking back and sipping whiskey and smoking a cigar back there at times.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing our defense give up the third downs. Would love to see us get off the field when we get them into third down. Um, I'd like to not see the second down music. But yeah, just turnovers, line of scrimmage, get off the field on third down. Like those are three things that I'm looking for specifically.
Yeah.
And I guess if I had to like critique, on the secondary side of things, I'd love to see guys like Ellis Robinson come back from their debacle of a game last game. Trying to think, is there anybody else that I'm looking for specifically to come back from? I mean, Ellis Robinson got burned pretty bad, but was it Jones that kind of you and I were talking about that maybe he might have lost his job?
No, Kyron Jones?
Yes.
No. I was no. Oh no. Sorry, Demelo Jones came in and played corner.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So I was wondering, does he start to play more?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. That I do think that's something to watch for because I
Whatever we did in the second half to cause them to, not score, like let's do a little bit more of that, but I'd like to see it with sprinkled in some turnovers, get that turnover margin going in the right direction for once.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. I mean, I think we've been stopping the run, so keep that up. I don't think any major changes needed there, but it's the quarterback pressure. Um, from what I saw, so that the freshman for Kentucky, he didn't play at all, or he didn't start the first game. He started the last couple of games. He's already been sacked 7 times though. And so from what I watched, like in the South Carolina game, which was on the road, it really got away from him. They had a sack fumble that was a scoop and score for a touchdown. He had a pick six, and then I think he was sacked like 5 times in the game. So I think Kentucky has been playing better at home, struggling on the road. I think it's going to be important for us as fans. I know it's a 12 o'clock game, and we're coming off a loss, so I think for us fans, it's important for us to get there and be loud. To affect Kentucky. Let's see what we can do to make it like that. 2021 Arkansas game at a noon kickoff. Because looks like they're going to have a freshman quarterback. Trotting out there between the hedges. So I think we could definitely make an impact there. But yeah, man, I want to see like what is Schumann and Kirby dial up? Do they dial anything up to manufacture some pressure? Because what we've been doing thus far, I mean, I think it's safe to say like it hasn't cut it as far as pressuring the quarterback. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
No, yeah, I'd like to see. One thing that I would like to see that Davin Bellamy was good. I feel like Davin Bellamy has kind of taken the pissed off alumni stance right now.
Yeah.
Um, I think he speaks from authority of, having been a very successful collegiate, and I don't know the extent of his NFL career, but I mean, he made the NFL rosters, right? But at least in college, he was a force. He was a force for us. He won a lot of matchups. The guy knows how to play defense. So when he sees what these players are doing, just like George, when he sees the offensive line and is able to kind of provide his expertise, having all these alumni on these social media platforms that are providing their insights from their own perspectives, um, he kind of hit the nail on the head. Like these players have just got to execute, and then it's just not getting it done. This ain't it, bro.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned something today that I kind of was like, you know what? You're right. This is kind of what I kind of alluded to this on the offensive line, but the defense is kind of just as culpable. You want to have that Ben Jones psychopath on the offensive side,
Mhm.
that David Andrews, like let's rip up the turf at Georgia Tech and just go berserk. You need some meanness. You need some meanness on this team. And we talk about fire, passion, and energy, but ask yourself that question. Like, have you actually seen it this season? Have we seen the fire, passion, and energy? I feel like I've seen brief glimpses on the offense on some players, but like, I don't know, man. I need to see some meanness from the defense. Like, we got bullied. We got bullied on defense, and I feel like that Alabama did a really good job of showing some fire, passion, and energy. And to his credit, Kalen DeBoer, when they were showing him on the sideline, like, dude, he was animated. He was getting after it, and you could see him encouraging and getting fiery. I would love to see the return of Rage Stroke Kirby.
Mm, mm. I'm gonna bring up now. I'm just gonna shout out Ryan Heinko because that his listener question was along those lines. He said, "Have you seen any fire, passion, and energy in the team as a whole? Slow starts feel like a lack of energy. We get some fire and passion out of a few individuals when we're trailing and need some urgency, but it feels like we are missing fire, passion, energy as a team and coaching staff." So I think JP, you just spoke to that. So
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of times this season. Wasn't it the first game of the season? Was it Ellis Robinson that had the interception and then like ran it back, but the whole team like ran down
mm,
the field with him?
right,
We talked about that. That was a great example. When Zachariah Branch did his Ronaldo celebration in the end zone, I felt like that was a
yeah.
pretty big moment for everyone. But aside from that, like I don't feel like I've seen it. Um, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, part of it too is like you call out the Ellis Robinson, right? You get the interception, everyone's celebrating. Like what gets the defense really fired up? It's getting to the quarterback, and we haven't done it. Like as far as like reacting after the play. But
Hmm.
I also think too, like back like last year. Last year I think was kind of similar, and then we would see it in spurts. Like Texas game last year, like the defense came out like just like hair on fire, just getting after didn't matter which quarterback was in the game for Texas. And it's like, I want to see that again, like with consistency as
Yeah,
far as
the
it, you
the
know?
swarming the swarming to the ball,
Yeah.
which Alabama did that in spades. Like there were multiple times when you had even when you were missing your assignments, like and their players had no hope of getting in the game. Like on that third down run when Gunner was trying to get to the 7 yard line, um, we obviously had some missed assignments, and those players were like turning around and like looking at the game as opposed to just, okay, so you missed your assignment, but don't let the next guy get past you kind of thing.
Right.
Um, some of that was going on, and then on the defensive side of things, when on other plays on offense, we would get tackled behind the line, and all of a sudden there'd be three or four Alabama players around the ball, and I feel like I don't see that as much on the defensive side.
Right. Right. Um, Chris Cole is leading the team in sacks with 3. So, I think he's an inside linebacker. I think that's kind of interesting. So, between bringing whether we need to bring more pressure up the middle or whatever, but I'd love to see some of the guys coming off the edge, pressure the quarterback. So,
Right.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you. I think we're on the same page there. I got a couple special teams things. Um,
Okay.
so on the special team side, uh, they've got a freshman kicker, Jacob Coway. He is perfect this far in the season. 8 of 8 field goals, 12 of 12 extra points. And then their punter, while they do not have an Australian punter, uh, they have a South African punter. His name is Aiden Laros. He's a senior. He's averaging 46.13 yards per punt. And he was like one of like the weekly Ray Guy uh, award, whatever watch list or whatever's, um, at least once so far this season. So he's pretty good. Um, so they don't take punting as seriously as we do with no Australian. They do have a South African. I don't know what that
They do have a
means.
South African. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So
about to say that's like Bizarro Australian, I feel like. I'd be
right.
curious to know what Brett Thorson's opinion of the South African punters are versus the Australian punters.
Yeah, no, seriously. We need see this is where we need Mullis and the mic to come back so we could hear this kind of analysis. We could submit that question to
We
Mullis
could
on the
submit
mic.
that question. Exactly.
Oh man, I do miss that. I do miss that.
We need to get Thorson back on the mic for something.
Yeah, seriously. How do we make that happen? We need to figure that. We need to put some glasses on it and figure
I
out who we're
mean, if
talking to
anybody
and
out
then
there in podcast world can get in touch with Brett Thorson for us, and maybe he can just rekindle his passion for podcasting with My God a Podcast.
hmm, hmm. I actually know how to get in touch with Brett Thorson, so we can check
Well,
on that.
Jim,
uh moving
on
on.
the next My God.
Yeah. Oh man, too good. All right, that's all I got for the special teams. Although like I would love to see Branch like do something big with a punt return. That would be sweet. And we have a history of returning some big kicks against this team, so
Mm,
maybe something to watch out for. Maybe something to watch out for.
okay.
All right, let's head to the listener questions. Um, And as we do, we'll just take a moment to remind everyone that the listener questions are brought to you by Working Web Media. So we've been working with them for, I think, 3 seasons now. Helped us redo our website. We weren't happy with it. We were able to sit down with them and kind of tell them what we wanted out of a site, and they were able to build out the whole thing for us. It's a very seamless, easy process for us to do that. Got a brand new store to go along with that. So you can head over to our site, mygodapodcast.com, to check out some of their work. But if if you've got a small business, you need help with your website or just your online presence, head over to workingwebmedia.com/dogs, and then they will know that we sent you their way. All right, we hit one of the listener questions already, so we can continue them, and we'll kick off as we always do with Brett Belding and the Belding bonus TM TM TM. Brett, again, it was great to see you on Saturday, and as well as your wife and your father-in-law. Uh, Good time. It was a good time seeing y'all. Let's see. Great to see everyone in Athens. That's where I start with. Number one, if you could only drink one Kentucky bourbon for the rest of your life, what are you drinking? Um, I think for me, if there's one Kentucky bourbon for the rest of my life, I'd probably go the Weller Special Reserve, the green label. I
Mm.
guess. I don't know, because I feel like as far as like you're never getting to change it. That's one that is a pretty consistent for me.
I mean, this is an easy question for me.
Okay.
It's Weller 107.
Wow. That is true.
I mean, you asked me which one would I want, so
Yep. Yep. That's fair.
not
That's
one can I actually get.
fair. Right. 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 True.
But yeah, yeah, that's what I'm going for sure.
Okay. Okay. Cool. And then two, who will get the Arkansas job? Are they going to keep Petrino? What about Gruden, Malzahn, or Mullen? Any others? I don't.
I imagine that this is going to be it's an audition for Petrino to get the job permanently would be my guess.
Man, can he keep? Can they give him that job again?
I
Like,
mean, they freaking gave him the offensive coordinator job, and it was effectively like a head coach in waiting role because of how old Bittman is.
does it? Does the job come with a motorcycle? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
I
At
don't
any
know.
rate,
I don't know how these schools just keep retreading people. It's like the wildest thing ever.
I do think like I would say no to Gruden. I think Gruden is having too much fun, like opening boxes of stuff that schools send to him on social media and unboxing them.
Yeah.
I think he's having too much fun in life to go back and coaching personally. Um, I think Mullen is an interesting one, honestly, to me, because like if you look at Florida, I mean, what have they done since they parted ways with him? I mean, I think there's Florida fans that probably wish they never fired Mullen. Um, I think he did pretty well at Mississippi State. I think Mullen at Arkansas could work. So I would say that's an interesting one. Ultimately, you're probably right. It's probably going to be Petrino. But if I was them, I mean, I would take a look at Mullen. Anyone else? Anyone else you could think of?
Rhett Lashley, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one actually.
Um,
The SMU, he's at SMU, right? Am I getting that right?
I honestly don't even know where he's at right now, but I'm just looking at the some coaching names that I haven't really heard on some articles over here. Um, I'm curious to like how's he doing at UNLV? I don't even know.
I don't know either. Uh,
Uh,
he Rhett Lashley is the SMU coach, by the way. So I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
They were a playoff team last year. So I don't know. Do you leave an ACC playoff contender for Arkansas? Probably, but it could be
I mean,
interesting.
I would imagine that that job pays more, right? Like I would imagine Arkansas pays more than
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because I think like SMU is like not even their ACC deal is different than most schools. So when they joined the ACC, I don't think they get the rev
so
share or something like that.
it looks like UNLV is 4-0.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
They're averaging 36, 37 points a game, and they're giving up 28, which sounds about right for Dan Mullen.
Yeah. Hey, that's how Arkansas. That's how they do it.
It
So
could
there's
be. I mean, I could see Dan Mullen working. I mean, you have if I were sitting in Arkansas's seat, I would be looking for someone that knows offense and knows the SEC and knows how to recruit. That recruiting component is probably what will hurt Dan Mullen the most.
that's true. Yeah, and
Petrino
it's
seems to have a little bit more success in terms of being able to get the most out of his recruits, but um, he's also a bag. So sorry, Carter.
sorry, Carter. All
I
right.
don't know. I would say that that job is it. It would not surprise me to see literally anybody take that job.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm with you.
It's like the South Carolina game. It's like the South Carolina job.
I'm trying to think. Somebody, I think it was Josh Pate. Somebody used to say that like the Kentucky job was like one of the greatest jobs in the country because like you win, you know,
You're just hanging out until
yeah, you
basketball
like if
season
you can win,
starts.
yeah, like if you can win 9 games, they're gonna build a statue. You know, like, so I don't know. All right, thanks, Brett. Building bonus is always legit. Let's go to Herman Wood. I think this was funny. Since Brett Building jumped my bourbon question, and then Herman said, "Guess I need to trademark it." He said, What will Kirby learn from this loss? How will we attack Kentucky on offense?"
I think he's going to learn that they've got a lot of growing up to do along the trenches. Um, my hope would be that they simplify the blocking schemes for the freshmen that are make up our right hand line, which has cost us dearly on multiple occasions in the last game.
Hmm.
So I'd like to see them get back to basics on the offensive line and just run a perfect game.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like it's kind of like take what the defense gives you, merged with let's run the plays that we are fully confident that everyone's going to execute correctly.
Right.
Right? Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Let's see, 51-7 GATA. Oh God, do we need to see the dogs run the toss sweep more often? That's a simple answer. Yes. And also let's layer in run the toss sweep with a fullback on. I don't know on the touchdown on Chauncey Bowen's touchdown run on toss sweep, which was what second quarter of the Bama game. Um, Josh McRae was in at fullback, and like he actually he was out there and he like didn't have anyone to block. He was like looking for someone to block. I was like, "There's nobody for me to block." It was
He's like,
incredible. Yeah, it's like, what do I do? What do I do? But yeah, dude, like it's a I don't know, man. It's a staple Georgia play. It's been the playbook forever. It works well. I mean,
it
like,
works well with this team as well, in my
yeah,
opinion, because
yeah,
one of the things that we always talk about when your offensive line is struggling, like what are some things that you do? Well, you try to execute some screens, some quick passes, which is unsurprising why Bobo has been calling a lot of those this season is because they're quick and there's no opportunity for any blocking breakdowns on the line. Um, the other thing that they do is they move the pocket.
hmm,
Um, let's move the pocket so they can't just pin their ears back and dial it up on us. Um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I remember, was it last year or 2 years ago? I remember Graham was talking a lot about like zone blocking, like gap scheme versus zone scheme, etc., and like what the line, like doing what the line is good at, right? It's like why don't we run this? Well, maybe they're struggling with it. And I know, like for example, the fourth down play was like zone blocking, and our guys got mixed up. So I don't know. Maybe don't do that as much if they're not ready for it. Like if they got it nailed down, cool. But if not,
Yeah, seriously.
if not, let's hold that for a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Will Garland. This one's awesome. So Will says, "My 13-year-old son will have his official start to his Georgia story this weekend with his first game day experience in Athens. I'll be taking him down to Athens early on Friday. What all would you recommend for any out of town family coming to Athens for a noon kickoff?"
Hmm.
So if you're
Get
gonna
there
come
early.
get there early. Also, if you're coming down early on Friday, just a reminder, 3 o'clock, Hargret Library on Friday. You could go check out, you go see Jason Hasty and see the swimming and diving exhibit there at Hargret. John and I have done that before. It's a lot of fun to go see Jason on a Friday afternoon. So there's that. Um, I think taking your 13-year-old son, I would say would love to go to Little Italy and get a slice of pizza and like half a sub, maybe for lunch one day. That's always a favorite of mine.
Yeah, South Kitchen and Bar.
Mm, that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
Check out the restaurant, get the Brussels sprouts and pretty much anything else on the menu.
Yeah, those are a couple of things that are fun to do with kids.
Yeah, I would say that those are fun. You can always do the walk through North Campus for sure would be on my list.
Yep.
Um, if you're feeling really adventurous, you can go for a jog around the stadium and maybe run into some coaches.
uh,
I would also say that it's probably not the official start of his Georgia story because I imagine you've been watching these games with him, so it's more so a enhancement to his Georgia story, I would like to think.
hmm, hmm. That's good. That's good.
Um,
The
so
Georgia
because you're
story
actually,
continues.
yeah, so the legend continues.
uh,
You get to touch it, feel it, smell it now. Yeah, I would say that those are all good. You could always, check out some of the tailgates around town. That's always fun. Um, look for Jim. I think he'll be there.
I will be there. Gonna be coming in hot because we're coming in from North Carolina. The day of the
I still
games.
don't understand the math that makes this make sense, but
Here, let me. I'll briefly explain this, and then I'll get back because I got two more things for Will. Um,
okay.
it is Lily wants to go to her high school's football game Friday night, but here's where it gets kind of funny. she wants to go to it because it's the homecoming game. She doesn't want to miss the homecoming game, which leads you to ask, well, what about the homecoming dance? Is that not also this weekend? It is. It's Saturday. Over the summer, she was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to go to homecoming. Like none of my friends and I, like we're not going. Like whatever." Like she had announced this a while ago, but I'm just like, "Are you sure?" Like, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't want to go to the dance, but she wants to go to the game." So we're gonna come down Saturday morning because she's going to Friday Night Lights Friday night.
She's got her she's got her priorities straight. She doesn't care about dancing. She just wants
Yeah,
to watch football.
that's right. That's right. Um,
Uh, I'm
so
trying to
the
think
other,
of some other stuff.
well, what I was gonna say is too. So, 13-year-old son. I mean, dog. He might want to go to the dog walk.
Dog walk.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so double check on the times for that. I think it's at 9:30. For this game, I think. But double check that. It'll be on georgiadogs.com. And then the other thing is whether you do that or not. I definitely recommend walking. Like I don't know where your seats are, but get in. So let's say like if you're in like the 300 level,
Uh,
I would say come in early, get in early enough to where you're not going to be rushed to get up to your seats. But I really recommend walking along the hedges, like walking the track along the bottom. So I'll often go in the gate, like down there by Tate Center, like by the Tate parking deck, go in
mm-hmm.
that gate, walk underneath the stadium, and then come out on either side, walk along the hedges. And so if you're doing that pregame too, you're up super close. You can see you always see the players like warming up. The cheerleaders are out there. The band's coming on and off. You're gonna come across alumni, students. This is homecoming, so there's gonna be all kinds of stuff going on. So I definitely recommend. I love walking along the hedges before the game, getting that up close view. That's
Mm-hmm.
always a fun thing to do.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Be down there for the lone trumpeter and Baba O'Reilly. I enjoy being down there for all that and the pomp and circumstance, and then you just kind of scamper up to up to your seats from there. It's usually not too bad to get up there at that point. I was gonna say something. You mentioned something that I was gonna elaborate on. Um, yeah, I would say you got to partake in a tradition since 1894.
Mm,
Ring that chapel bell and walk through Hurdy Field. See, kind of walk through where it originally all started. I
yeah,
would say
for sure.
that would be another cool thing to do.
But just wait until
Um,
after we win before you ring the chapel bell.
yeah, I would say if you want to give, I would also say if you want to get the student experience, you can maybe go to a dining hall. Um,
Hmm,
that's always kind of fun.
that's true.
I loved going to the dining halls when I was a kid, so there's that. Um, I think that most of them are open on game days, right?
That's something I do not know. I'll have to ask my niece.
Yes. We'll put
Sophia.
some.
Sophia listens. She always listens, but Sophia, if you're listening, let me know. Let us know if the dining halls are open on Saturday.
Yes. Just go to Snelling, ask for a patty melt,
Oh my gosh.
double patty melt with cheese,
I mean, that
and
almost, we almost had to stop on our run when we went past Snelling.
and a plate of fries.
uh, Will, you'll have to report back to us how it goes. Say hi if we run across you. But I know your son will have a blast in Athens on Saturday.
Yes. Oh yeah, and check out the new bookstore, which I haven't even checked out yet, but
That
the
is
bookstore
true.
is always fun.
Definitely go to the bookstore. That's a good call. Go to the bookstore for sure. You can try. You don't even have to buy one of the big hats. You can just put it on your head. I don't know if those are still in there, but that's always fun.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, let's go to John Michael D. Hashtag little stitious. Maybe too late for the pod. Not too late, John. You're all good. The question: has the pregame run been done together in the past? And I think we responded with like the Vince Dooley, like "ee" gif as the response. This is where we like to say like what we do doesn't really affect anything. So I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, Jim. Our maybe if we didn't run together, the offensive line and defensive line would have played better. People are talking.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't like specifically definitively say that's not the case. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But man, we did the things. Like we did so many things.
We did so many things.
I thought there was, another omen. We saw Josh Brooks before the game too. By the way, we forgot to mention that when we were
Yeah, I don't know if
walking.
that, in retrospect, I don't know if that was a good or a bad omen because I feel like everybody we've talked to are like, doesn't he need to like be somewhere?
He was he was walking into the stadium on his way into the stadium. Um, so
You
yeah,
think he was there? He would have been there before though. Like,
I mean the dog walk hadn't even started yet. This was pretty early. I
I
think it was
thought it had started because we were walking
we
or
couldn't
we
get
were,
through because they were waiting on it to start.
yeah.
So, at any rate, so no. The answer to the question is no. We had not done that. So I guess never again. Never
You have
again.
to run. You have to run by yourself, Jim.
It's gonna go. It's gonna go away with the second down music. Ba ba ba. No, no more.
You hope,
Yeah,
but I don't know. We'll see.
we'll see.
It was nice to run together. I will say that. Like,
I mean, it actually. I had a great time.
yeah,
It was fun. We had a good time. You know what? Yeah,
screw you guys.
we could do it again. Maybe we need to break something like that in against a lesser opponent. Maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, seriously.
Sorry, John McEldy, to elevate the stitches things.
That's hilarious that he brought that up though.
Fair game, fair game, fair question. All right,
Captain Stitious.
let's go to our friend Greg at Dogs Fan Forever on Twitter. We struggled last year against Kentucky with a 1 point win, and they historically play us tough. Stoops will watch Alabama tape and see short pass game and yards after catch hurt us, particularly on third down. Thoughts on secondary playing more aggressive and coming upfield to make tackles? Go, John.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is one of the things that Davin Bellamy was talking about was the secondary playing more aggressive. Like the first touchdown that Jeremy Bernard scored, where he basically just crossed. He was allowed to cross Ellis Robinson's face, and we didn't. He was playing press coverage and didn't get a hand on him. I saw London Humphreys get manhandled multiple times. But I mean, I saw a lot of people get manhandled. Like, just I want to see people. I want to see us bully people. But yeah, I would say getting more aggressive and making tackles, making open field tackles. I mean, like I said, Ellis Robinson did not have a great game in that game. Missed some tackles, missed some opportunities, made some mistakes. I'd like to see them get a little bit more aggressive, but not to the point where we're jumping on piles that are already over.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll say I think two things. One is we know Kirby Smart and company are watching the same tape as Kentucky and self scouting and hopefully making some corrections this week. So that's one thing. The other thing is the whole like struggling with Kentucky. That tends to happen when we go there. So
Yeah,
that's
when
the
we
only
go
thing I'll say
there.
there. Like we are definitely a struggle bus when we go to Lexington. If you look at the recent matchups at home, though, that has not been the case. So if that makes you feel any better, I just want to throw that out there.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. Let's go to Shinobu at UGA Hoops Shinobu on Twitter. Do you like Scott's call of 2008 Georgia versus Kentucky? It's one of my favorite calls. I actually have a part of that queued up, JP. We're going to listen to a little Scott Howard from Georgia at Kentucky in 2008.
He got on his donkey.
Before he yelled about donkeys.
Shotgun snap to Stafford in the pocket, throws it over the middle. It's caught by Massaquoi. Massaquoi breaks the tackle. 40, 50, go Muhammad. Cuts it to 30, 25, 20. Avoids another tackle all the way down to the 8-yard line, maybe the 7.
Okay, so I grabbed that because that was actually my favorite part of the
It
clip.
definitely has shades of Munson.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you know what? I just remembered something. Hold on. I didn't let it run long enough.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so glad you said that. Hold on a second.
Muhammad Massaquoi doing his best impression of Lindsey Scott.
Oh my gosh. I forgot that he had said that part. That game ended like that was like a come from behind win at Kentucky in 2008, which is wild. It ended with like a Stafford to AJ Green touchdown pass in the corner end zone. That game, so
How
the
did we have so
footage,
much talent on that team and
dude,
not get
the footage. Oh, I can get that. The footage from that game is you can see in the header it said Raycom Sports. Um, I want to say that game was like on pay per view or something. There was one game like around that time that was like only on the radio. That might have been 2006. Maybe it was a 2006 Kentucky game. which we actually lost, like at Kentucky. But I don't know, different times, man. That game was on Raycom, kind of wild. But at any rate, I do think that was I would say in the annals of Scott Howard, I do like that one. I think that was good.
That's a good one.
I like the Munson reference that he did as well.
Agreed.
All right, let's go to.
He also referred to him just like Massaquoi.
This is true. This is true. Massaquoi. Oh man. Let's see. Keeping it with the hoops theme, we're gonna head over to Fletcher Proctor. It has been 2,091 days since Kentucky basketball won in Stegman. It has been 5,790 days since Kentucky football has won in Sanford. UK, more like you suck. Dogs by 30. Also, we need more Spike at the football games. Spike is greater than Harry. Something else we forgot to talk about in the review was that
We
Spike
did forget
was at
to
the
talk
game.
about that one. Spike was at the game.
Didn't and like you, I know you had some like lengthy commentary. You were like, "It's Spike, Spike." You're pointing to me.
Yes. I
Man.
loved it. I loved it. Spike was there. He was just bouncing around doing his thing.
Too good. Am I making this up? I swear you were like Fletcher's gonna be happy or like something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. We did talk about taking pictures in front of the segment and giving Fletcher a basketball minute on game day.
Oh, that was true. That was true. When we were on our pregame jog, there was the basketball. What was it called? There was like a club. It wasn't like the Letterman's Club or something, but the Tip Off Club. It's like Tip Off.
Yeah.
It was like a Tip Off Club tailgate outside Sanford, and I was like, "Where's Fletcher? Why isn't Fletcher here?"
Outside Stegman, yes.
Yeah, outside segment. Sorry. Oh man.
Yep, and then we were walking over to meet up with Tony and Scott and those guys, and I think we talked about taking a picture, but we never did.
We did not. We did not take a picture. Yeah, we were gonna. Yeah, that's right. We were gonna take a selfie where it said UJ Tip Off Club and say, "Fletcher, where are you?" That was the plan, but we didn't do it. Sorry, Fletcher. Hey, basketball, getting close to basketball season, so I know Fletcher, you're getting excited.
Didn't he just sign didn't Mike White sign an extension? I guess that's a news and note.
He may have.
I believe that he signed an extension recently. They announced the extensions of several coaches.
Okay.
I thought that I saw Mike White was one of them.
Nice. I mean, it was good to go back to the NCAA tournament last year. Would love to do that again. Let's see. Let's go to All School. At All School on Twitter. Does Kentucky have a good enough offensive line and passing game to use a similar game plan to Alabama and Tennessee? Stoops usually seems to prefer rock fights based on the run, doesn't he? Yeah, I'm gonna say no, they don't to be able to run the same kind of game plan. He does. I mean, remember, like he when they play us, he just tries to slow the game down. Like that is like the ultimate goal. Remember they like death marched themselves a few years ago where we're like up really big and they ran like a death march and chewed up like 12 minutes of clock and like the game was over, what just happened. So yeah.
Death marched himself.
I mean, it was the thing. It happened.
I remember that.
All right. Let's go to Matt Key. Matt, as we said, it was great to see you on Saturday. Loved getting some of the lore. It was great. Also, he opened with like, okay, ... Because with the day when we posted the question, like, give us your questions, Matt was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm going to need a few days. So first off,
take pause.
Right. First, Bowen's
mental health day.
Yes, exactly. Bowen's running back one now? Question mark. I think that's a resounding yes, right?
Agreed. Yeah.
I like this one. We talked about this a little bit earlier, actually. How soon do we throw back to Taylor to get the kids' confidence back up? I totally think we should. I think fairly early in the game, I'd love to see that happen. I would say first half.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, we got to get the ball to these guys. I would say Delp would be in that vein as well.
Yep,
because he had a pretty big drop.
Yep, I would agree. Third, something not quite right with Thorson. You think ACL fears still? I noticed in one of the games recently, like Fowler had commented that Brett Thorson's told them that he feels like he's almost healthy, like he's almost 100%. So I think he's admittedly not feeling 100%. I think still great on like the hang time and they're not returning his punts, but I think you had talked about in the review, like would love for him to get a little bit more distance, pin them back a little bit deeper inside the 20, right?
Yeah, instead of we're talking about inside the 20, we're talking about inside the 10, potentially inside the 5. That's where he's been able to do that in the past. I mean, you say that, but like, I mean, his punts are averaging, you know, pretty decently, even in the limited time he's been back. He's still on the was it the Groza list or whatever?
Ray Guy is
Ray
the
Guy, sorry.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, he's still on the Ray Guy Awards.
Yeah,
So
he's averaging right around 45 yards a punt. So
yeah,
yeah, I think he's still doing pretty good.
I mean, I mean, I don't know that there's any necessarily fears, maybe strength.
Mm, yeah,
Because when you sit out for that long, there's a little bit of atrophy here and there. So you just got to build that. That just takes time to build back up.
yeah. And then last, how involved will the crowd be with a noon kickoff and coming off a loss? And I inadvertently talked about that earlier too. I mean, I think I think it should be loud. I mean, it is homecoming, so that's the only thing I'll say. Like homecoming tends to be a late arriving crowd, etc. So I think that's where we just all need to talk amongst each other. If you're going, get there early, get in the stadium on time, and be loud for that kickoff. Like I said, let's see if we can replicate that Arkansas game from a few years ago.
Hmm. I like it.
All right, let's go to Boss Dog at TJ Witten on Twitter. If you could pick one thing to see out of this team against Kentucky, what would it be?
I'll let you answer this one first, Jim, and depending on your answer, I may pivot.
Sacks.
Okay.
I want to
All right.
see pressure on the quarterback.
Okay. So you want sacks as opposed to pressures?
You know what? I want the quarterback to be uncomfortable. Pressure is the great equalizer. I want to see some like legit pressure. I want like the percentage of I don't know that I have like a target, but like we pressured we pressured him what like five dropbacks I think last week, which is just way too low. I think he was like 1 of 5 passing when we did pressure him. I need to see that pressure rate go way up.
Okay, since you're going with pressures, I'm gonna go with interceptions,
Okay.
turnovers. I want turnovers.
Okay. Hey, and those things work hand in hand. If we get pressure, I think those will come.
I don't disagree with you.
All right, let's go to friend of the show, Tim Riley. Again, Tim, it was great to see you last Saturday before the game. He's at T Riley Dog on Twitter. Give us your thoughts on our lack of tight end focus. 8 catches across 4 games. Also, give a download of 1 month reflection and where we go from here in October. Good seeing y'all and Go Dogs.
Good seeing you, dude. Um, 1 month reflection and where we go from here.
Well, do you want to
I'll,
start with the lack of
I'll,
tight end focus?
I'll start there and it'll maybe get us to the tight end focus. How about
Okay.
that?
Okay, that works.
So I think the offensive line needs to step up. Again, the defensive line, we've talked ad nauseum about this the last 2 seasons because it's been a symptom of, in my opinion, it's a symptom of the coaching on the offensive line, which I felt very strongly about since day one. As the talent that Sam Pittman pulled into our circles has dwindled. The text thread was just popping about, Tate Ratledge and how he's seemingly dominating in the NFL, but struggled at Georgia at times, even though he was hurt or whatever. But like, I think it comes down to coaching. I think that we struggle at that position from a coaching standpoint. So I'd like to say that that's going to get better, and maybe it will if we can get some consultants in here named Sam Pittman. Um, but I don't know. I think that we just are having to work with what we've got, and I'd like to see us just get good at doing simple things well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Waffle House is great because it's amazing food. It's cooked simply and consistently every single time. It's not going to win you a Michelin star rating, but it's going to put a smile on your face and good food in your belly. Um, and it tastes good. And I think that we can ride this team to a national championship. We just have to do what we do, find the things that we do well and stick with it. And that includes if you can get the offensive line gelling better, working together better. I think that frees up the tight ends. I think that we've been asked to do a lot more. I don't think that Lawson Lucky had a single pass thrown his way last game. Um, I think you and I were talking about that. You pointed that out to me, I think on the after the podcast. But um, yeah, I think that they've been asked to block a lot. I mean, you saw in one of coach one of coach's breakdowns, Coach Hayes breakdowns, like they brought in Oscar Delp as a blocking H back at one point. Um, I think that they're using and leveraging those guys as blocking tight ends. Why they haven't used 6'7", 300-pound man-child Ellis Williams or whatever, um, I don't know. But he seems like he was more like the Darnell Washington. It's kind of like it reminds me of when Darnell Washington was used so heavily to block um, when he was here,
Yeah.
and he didn't really get to showcase a lot of his other skills. And I think that a lot of that has to do with some of the blocking deficiencies that we have on the offensive line.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think like for me in the 1 month reflection, I think we've got a young team, and I think most teams in college football are young. I think we're in a new day and age in college football, um, and I think the days of like seeking perfection and that perfect season are probably gone. I think to make it through, when you think about it, as close as the last two games are, to split those two games is not the worst thing in the world in today's day and age. To go 500 across two nail biters, I think we can live with that. Again, last week just hurt so much because of who it was, the not the result and like the a loss in the loss column. That does not kill you these days. So I think, but you learn a lot from a loss. We've talked about it multiple times. You keep saying this, John. Like Kirby talked about how he was excited on Monday when he watched the film and saw a lot of things that excites him. And we can see there, the miscues that were so close, like the plays were there. I think we have the talent. We've got the players. They just need to grow up. Man, these freshman linemen in a few weeks, they're not gonna be freshmen anymore, right? They're gonna continue to get out there and learn more and begin to hopefully play like veterans. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. I think plenty of runway left in this season. Um, honestly, I think we're sitting in a pretty good spot. So, all
I would agree with that.
right, John, we got one more. Ready to hit it?
Let's hit it.
Oh my God!
My God, a freshman.
Trying to put glasses on it.
1980 rule, brother.
It is time for Coaches Over Unders Kentucky edition. JP, you have taken the lead in Coaches Over Unders by one whole pick. You get the honors. Would you like to go first, or do you want to defer?
What's the first question? What's the first one? I'm trying to find the notes there.
It is
I'll let you go first on this one.
okay. So we are going to start off with the offense. First question is over under 4.5 rushing attempts for Gunnar Stockton. I'm going to go over.
Clarifying question, Jim.
Okay.
Are these including scrambles
I mean, I would say I think that counts as a rush
and
attempt.
sacks?
Does a sack count as a rushing attempt? That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay. I'm gonna say that these are designed runs, and I'm gonna go under.
Okay. Then over to you. Over under 55 receiving yards for Colby Young.
I've got over on that one, Jim.
Okay. I actually agree. I'm going to say over. And then over under 2.5 rushing touchdowns. I'm going to go over.
I'm also gonna go over on that one.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Switching over to the defense, and then over to you again, JP. We'll start it off. Over under 95 rushing yards for Kentucky.
This is to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going under on that number, Jim.
Ooh, man. Wow. It's like scintillating. I love that. Man, I'd love to do that. I'm going to go over. It's a low number. I'm going to go over. And then next, over under 2.5 sacks. Part of me wants to say I'm gonna say under until they
Show me!
but but I think based on what I saw from their offensive line last week, I'm gonna say over.
So you believe that they're gonna show you?
Yes, I do.
I've got it on the over there on that one, Jim.
Okay. And then over under 1.5 forced turnovers for the Georgia defense.
This is to me. I've got it on the under.
Yeah, I'm less confident in that side of the coin.
This is also filed under the umbrella of
Show me!
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, let's see. Then we've got special teams. All right, so I think this is me. Sorry, I was trying to count. I lost track of who was going. Over under 2.5 punt returns for Zachariah Branch. 2.5. And we've got a fair catch a lot. I'm gonna go under.
carry the one. I'm gonna go over on that one, Jim.
Okay. Ooh, see this could be a separation Saturday on the over under, JP.
Separation Saturday.
All right, and then the last one is not technically an over under. He clarified. He had a clarification. This is, I think, this is kind of just for fun. He said bourbon, not an over under, but a brunch drink of choice, if not a Kentucky bourbon. So I said Kentucky bourbon or other, and you can state your other if it's other.
Okay. So like it could be a cocktail of Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Mint julep.
Ooh, okay. I guess that would technically fall under other. It doesn't matter. For me, honestly, like I'm not a big brunch cocktail person. Like I'm not huge on mimosas, and I don't like Bloody Marys either. And I don't know. Do you like Bloody Marys?
I don't like Bloody. No.
With your taste of like not liking pickles and stuff, I kind of assumed. Figured I'd double check. Okay. Yeah. I guess I would probably do like an Irish coffee. Is probably because like at a brunch I usually just drink coffee, so I'll go with an Irish coffee.
That's a good one. I like that.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you as always for sending those in. Appreciate you. Great to see you last weekend. Got to see you a couple of times last weekend. It was awesome. But as always, appreciate you doing this for us.
Yes, thank you, sir.
All right, so heading into prediction time. So let's see. Looking at OddsShark, Georgia is favored in this game by 20.5 points. Big line. The over-under is 48.5. That gives an implied score of Georgia 34.5 to 14. Their predicted score is not far off of that, 37.1 to 14.2. We looked out at Parker Fleming's CFB graphs again. He's got Georgia 27.05 to Kentucky 16.34. And then I looked at our scoring impact that we do in our spreadsheet. That has Georgia 36.65 to Kentucky 16.2. So not far off from that other stuff either. I don't know, Johnny. Do you want me to go, or you want to go? Where are we? What do you think?
I've got us 31 to 13, Jim.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not far off. Like I said earlier, I feel like the struggle bus against Kentucky tends to be up there. We've handled business at home the last few times we played them here. So I've got dogs 37-10. Yeah.
I like it. I like your score better than mine.
Nice.
So
cool.
Based on what was your hold on, just to back up for a second. What was your over under on rushing touchdowns?
It was 2.5.
But what was your answer on that?
I thought I said over.
Okay.
I'm not changing my answer, Coach.
No, I was just trying to think like, so if you had under, I was just thinking that you were confident that Gunner was going to have a big day.
So honestly, though, that is why I hesitated answering that question, because, and also because I feel like Kentucky's pass defense has been struggling. So that's why I was kind of teetering on that question, because I kind of do think that could happen.
Okay.
Cool. We got a couple of games around that Coach gave us for our pick'em games. We can hit those. The first one he's got here is Number 9, Texas travels to play the Florida Gators in the Swamp. It's a 3:30 kickoff on ESPN. Texas is favored by 6.5 points. I feel like number 9 Texas on the road at Florida, at an unranked Florida, and the line's only 6.5 seems odd to me. But that's just me.
Vegas knows, Jim.
Yeah.
They know something.
I'm going to take Texas to win, but I think Florida might keep this pretty close.
Yeah, so I've got Texas in that matchup as well. It
Okay.
feels like a 10-point victory.
Okay. Next one, huge matchup. Number 16 Vandy at number 10 Alabama. 3:30 kickoff on ABC. Man, again with this, you got Texas, Florida at 3:30 on ESPN, and Vandy, Alabama, 3:30 at ABC. Again,
Come on,
CBS.
Nate. Come on, SEC. CBS would never.
CBS would never do that. Alabama is favored by 10.5 points at home. Can Diego Pavia pull it off again, JP?
I think he does.
Ooh, that would be delicious.
I think he does, but my gut wants that answer to be the question, but I'm going to go with Alabama on this one.
Okay.
But if you just woke up from 2000, you're not going crazy. That is number 16 Vanderbilt playing number 10 Alabama.
I lost the stat. I saw it like online. This is the first time this has been like a top 25 ranked matchup in like it was some insane amount of time.
Like 100 years.
Yeah, it's wild.
Where's game day at this? Are they at Miami FSU?
No,
Okay.
game day is at Alabama for Vanderbilt.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like Rip Van Winkle. Like you're not going crazy. That is college game day on the campus of Vanderbilt.
I mean, are they going to have Theo Vaughn be the guest picker and like talk about whether or not he's dating? Gonna take Pavia's mom out on a date?
That would be so funny if they had him as the guest picker and they brought his mom out. Oh man, dude, Theo Vaughn is such a weirdo.
All right, just because I'm gonna have fun with this, I'm taking Vandy. All right.
Okay. I want Vandy to win just because at this point, just let chaos ensue everywhere else except for Athens.
For sure. And honestly, I mean it now, there's no East and West, right? So like Bama losing a game helps us, like in SEC standings. So
yeah, I mean, does it? Or because if they end up with only one loss, then they would hold the tiebreaker.
true, but and then also if Vandy beats them, and then Vandy has a tiebreaker over Alabama. So weird. I just said that. Okay, and then the last one we've got the night game. The game lost a little bit of its luster after Florida State lost at Virginia, but number 3 Miami, 4.5 point favorite at number 18 Florida State, 7:30 p.m. on ABC. So Carson Beck gets another crack at Florida State after having previously defeated them as a Georgia quarterback in that Orange Bowl a couple of years ago.
I have a feeling this game's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think 4.5. I don't know. I mean, that's still they're thinking it'll be pretty close.
Yeah, I think that Miami squeaks that one out by 3 or 4 points.
Okay. I'm gonna take a bounce back game for Florida State at home. They beat Alabama at home. I think they got a little too. I think they ate too much rat poison before a game at Virginia. And we're gonna make this separation Saturday in the pick'em as well.
Wait. Oh yeah, because you're going for FC. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see Miami lose the rest of the way just to go ahead and kick that narrative to the curb.
The narrative. Yeah. A season of narratives.
Seriously.
All right. Well, shout out Coach again for sending the pick'em games. Also always a good time. So I will be there. I told that story again. So be back down there. Probably be coming in kind of hot. But looking forward to another day between the hedges. Homecoming is always a good time as well. So should be fun.
What's the weather outlook for?
It looks good. It's like that's where it's kind of heading towards fall a little bit, like mid-70s.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
I will not be at this game. I will probably be watching from the golf cart, Jim.
Oh, okay.
Carter has golf practice followed by a makeup golf round that he's going to have starting at 1. So I believe that I'll get an hour of uninterrupted time to be able to watch it. Otherwise, I'll be watching the second half in the golf cart probably.
Okay. Okay. You can have like an elaborate setup. I'm just kidding.
It's funny you say that because maybe I need to figure out a way to jerry-rig the computer or something like that.
Mm.
Um,
I feel like the phone is pretty good these days. You can get like one of those magnetic mounts and mount your phone on the golf cart and just kind of
that's true. That's true.
kick back, relax, and watch it.
Just figure out something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what it's also homecoming weekend here too. So
Okay. Okay.
not sure
Nice.
what they're doing for that. So
Yeah, that's what. Apparently, we are not partaking in our household except for the football game. So
amazing.
Well, cool, man. I mean, I'm looking for bounce back game for the Dogs this weekend. Hope we get to see that.
Get it right, dogs. Just dominate on those trenches. That's all I want to see.
Yeah.
We just need to
Show me!
There it is. And then less of the brr, brr, brr.
So yeah, I didn't remove it from the soundboard, but I also intentionally didn't press the button.
Just go ahead and do it. Just do it once. Just do it once.
You want like once for old time's sake?
Just for old time's sake. Go dogs.
Go Dogs.